Hello, it's Mr. Schneider. This is podcast 2.3, unit 2, number 3. Third parties. There's two major political parties, obviously, the Democrats and Republicans. All other political parties are known as third parties. There's been many different third parties throughout the years. No third party's ever been elected to a major political office, especially the presidency. Probably the most famous third party political candidate was Teddy Roosevelt in 1912. He had been president before as a Republican, ran in 1912 as part of the Bull Moose Party. So while there haven't been a lot of exceptional, I guess, winners at the national level, they have brought about, they do bring about sometimes important ideas, important material to the table. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So usually they introduce new ideas or press for a particular issue. Whereas the major parties have many issues they're worried about, third parties generally have one or two main issues that they are interested in. And let's take a look at some really out there third parties.
Hey YouTube, John here, and this is the Nerd Report. Today we're going to be talking about America, land of the free and home of the crazy third parties.
Oops.
Hey YouTube, John here, and this is the Nerd Report. Today we're going to be talking about America, land of the free and home of the crazy third parties. Yeah, third parties, those oft-forgotten political groups represented by candidates at the bottom of your ballot. You'd probably ignore as if they don't even exist. Well, guess what? They do exist. And some are a lot crazier than others. First, and possibly most famous, is the Rent is Too Damn High Party. This New York party, founded by Jimmy McMillan, is a populist party who, as the name implies, runs on the major tenet that the rent is too damn high. Next is the American Pirate Party. And these are the kind of pirates that you see running the high seas. These are the pirates that are probably doing a little bit less than illegal things on the internet. But this is an international party that pretty much spans the entire globe. This party's major concerns focus on copyright and patent law reforms. Next is the Vampires, Witches, and Pagans Party. And no, I can't make this stuff up. This party, who's actually had candidates run for president, Congress, and governor, supports such policies as abolishing the 16th Amendment and public impalement of criminals. Next is the very straightforward Guns and Dope Party. This party runs under the unofficial slogan of, I tolerate your hobbies if you'll tolerate mine. Following that, we have the Youth International Party, or as they like to be known as, the Yippies. This is a radical youth-oriented party focused on countercultural revolution. Among their many theatrical political gestures include the advancement of Pegasus the Immortal, a 145-pound hog, for president in 1968. Next is the Pot Party, not to be confused with the U.S. Marijuana Party, whose platform is much more centered around things such as logic, politics, and medicine. The Pot Party is more like a bunch of hippies, whose major political view is, dude, the weed is so good, you should smoke it. Well,
Don't smoke weed.
There's those who find it hard to admit when they lose. And then there's the next party on our list, the Southern Party. This party looks to represent all the people of Dixie, while carrying on many Confederate policies and looking to push for the advancement of state rights. Another party hailing from the Deep South is the Dice Party, or as it could be more accurately known as, the Ku Klux Klan Party. No, just kidding. But I'm sure you can take a few guesses as to what this party advocates. The next party on our list is the Pansexual Peace Party. The PPP is a party that not only advocates peace between all humans, but also between us, the earth, and all things around us. So the strongly left-wing party has found some backing. It spends most of its time hanging out with the Pot Party and focuses on promoting its message rather than promoting individual candidates. And the last party on our list is the American Common Sense Party. In a modern American political scene, so full of divides between individuals and an unwillingness to compromise, with more of an interest on being re-elected than helping the people, and whose major goal is upholding a dogmatic bipartisan bureaucracy, it should come as no surprise that a party who focuses on pragmatism and compromise for the good of the nation has gained little support. That's the Nerd Report. See you next time.
All right, so as I said, they usually revolve around political personality, and the most famous political personality ever in a third party was Teddy Roosevelt. So here's a neat little story about where the name Bull Moose Party came from.
While campaigning for a third term of the presidency in 1912, Theodore Roosevelt exited a hotel in Milwaukee and took a seat in an open-air car. As a crowd gathered around the vehicle, Roosevelt stood up to wave to them. At that moment, John Schrock, a local saloon keeper, lunged through the well-wishers and shot TR from a distance of less than 7 feet. The bullet entered his right breast, was slowed by a folded copy of a speech he was made later at his eyeglasses case, and lodged in his chest. As the would-be assassin was subdued, Roosevelt assessed the damage, and when he reached under his shirt to feel the wound, his hand came out bloodied. His aides insisted that Roosevelt go immediately to the hospital, but TR refused their pleas and demanded that he proceed as planned to give a speech to a crowd of 10,000 people who were waiting to hear him speak. Once he arrived, and even though the right half of his body was turning black, Roosevelt mounted the stage unaided, unbuttoned his shirt front to show the audience the spreading blood stain, and declared, "I have just been shot, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose!" Roosevelt then spoke for 90 minutes before finally consenting to be taken to the hospital. The bullet was not removed, and he carried it with him for the rest of his life.
All right, so stronger than a bull moose. And then the last note here, they rarely win, but sometimes they do draw votes from other political parties. Some people believe that the reason Al Gore was not elected president in 2000 is because of the votes Ralph Nader took away from him, specifically in Florida.
It's a two-party system. You have to vote for one of us.
Right, this is a two-party system. Well, I believe I'll vote for a third-party candidate.
Go ahead. Throw your vote away.
All right, and then finally, here's a website. I don't know what's wrong with the computer. That lists all sorts of different political third parties. And then if we go down here, you'll see everything from the Alaskan Independence Party down to the World Socialist Party of the United States. Yeah, so there's literally hundreds of third parties. Most of them, they don't have the money to become well-known, which is a lot of what, unfortunately, politics is about, but almost anybody can start a third party. All right, guys, that's the podcast for today. Thanks, and I will see you in class.